Several diving enthusiasts came to a river late at night to catch fish. But after one of them went down, he accidentally entered a mysterious cave. Because the cave structure was complicated, he completely lost his sense of direction inside. Before his air tank was about to run out, he luckily found an air-filled chamber. But after 5 days and nights, the oxygen level inside kept dropping. Just when he was in despair, a beam of hopeful light shone toward him. The time goes back to the early morning of July 20th, 2025. Jack and 3 companions took a rubber boat. They planned to go fishing in the river. Jack was a diving enthusiast who loved the outdoors. He had once dived as deep as 39 meters, so for a river only about 20 meters deep, he didn't take it too seriously. Although he knew there was a cave 9 meters below, none of them planned to enter it. They treated it as a routine recreational dive. Around 1 a.m., the 3 companions were preparing on the boat. Jack, carrying a 200-bar tank, dove down first. But while his companions lit a cigarette, they turned and saw Jack's bubbles on the surface were gone. He hadn't surfaced either. The others quickly went into the water to search. But recent rains had made the water murky, and since it was a night dive, they could barely navigate with just headlamps, let alone find Jack. In desperation, his companions immediately called the police. The rescue team soon arrived at the scene. Jack's companions told the rescuers that they had seen Jack's light and bubbles as he swam past the cave entrance, and about 15 meters further, the light and bubbles completely disappeared. So they concluded Jack definitely hadn't entered the cave. But this statement led the rescuers at first to focus their search outside the cave. After 2 days of grid-style searching, they had dived as deep as 25 meters underwater. They had covered more than 1,000 square meters, but they only found one thing: a fresh footprint that looked like it was made by a fin. Later, the rescue team brought in underwater robots to search. After hundreds of meters upstream and downstream were checked, and still no results were found, only one possibility remained. Jack had most likely entered the cave by mistake. The rescuers then entered the cave twice to search, but because visibility was too poor and the cave was narrow, stalactites kept snagging the guide ropes, which made the rescue work very difficult. Although they found several air chambers during the process, they still found nothing. In 4 days, they used sonar, underwater robots, and every device available, but Jack seemed to have vanished into thin air. And under conditions with water and air, a person can usually survive 7 to 15 days, but Jack had already been missing for more than 4 days. Rescue time was becoming more precious. More professional underwater rescue teams were urgently needed. At noon on July 23rd, 11 skilled team members arrived at the scene. By then, Jack had been missing for 105 hours. After understanding the situation, 2 of them went in as the first divers. Their goal was clear: to check the air chambers where someone could surface to breathe, because if someone had survived, they must have been in an air chamber. But visibility underwater was extremely poor, less than 1 meter, and with the complex terrain, they could only rely on their own lights. They slowly felt their way along the stone walls. The 2 advanced about 70 meters. They checked the first 4 air chambers one by one, and they set up the first guide rope along the way. But they still found no trace of the missing diver. The first round of searching yielded nothing. This added a heavier gloom to the already tense atmosphere. At 3:35 p.m., the second group of divers entered the water. They continued from where the first group had stopped. Soon, they found another series of air chambers.